In 2022, I saved a bit over $10,000. And the strategy that I used to save that $10,000 is based on the same 3 principles that I used to save my first $1,000 when I was just a college student with a part-time job. And it's these 3 same principles that I plan to use to create strategies to save tens of thousands of dollars in the coming years. In this video, first I'm going to share those principles with you, then I'm going to show you how they manifest into the methods that I used to save $10,000 last year. I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. I'm just a girl who really loves personal finance and financial literacy, and I believe that in the next 10 minutes, I can empower you to love it too. So if you're interested, keep watching this video.
Baby, but you know I'm about to keep you up. Welcome to my channel, and today I'm about to teach you something.
We're living in difficult times. Debt is astronomical, affordability is a joke. Financial goals and milestones of the past, like home ownership, seem unattainable to the average 20-something-year-old. And we're not even sure that the current monetary systems that we operate in are still going to be around when we're 50. All this is really daunting, and it can push us to feel like we should throw all the rules out the window, just live based on YOLO, and do whatever we want. Despite all this, I still believe that money management skills are crucial for living a happy, fulfilled life. And the reason for that is based on principle number 1. Money is energy. Now, I don't mean that in some woo-woo way. I mean, I go to work and I'm asked to perform certain tasks. Those tasks require my effort or energy to complete. Some of those tasks may require manual labor, a certain skill set, or a certain subject matter expertise, some of which may have taken me months or years to acquire through lots and lots of effort or energy. And usually, the longer it takes to acquire a skill, or the more energy you had to put into acquiring it, the more you're compensated for using it. So with my employer or my client, I agree to give them a portion of my energy. And in exchange, they give me my energy back, and it's agreed upon monetary equivalent. With my energy now in the form of money, I can exchange it for other things of value, like food, clothes, or services, all things which require other people's energy to produce and facilitate. You get it? Understanding money as an energetic currency was the switch that made me realize how important money management is, because whatever I do with my money is what I do with my energy, and what I do with my energy is what I do with my life. And I don't know about you, but I want to be in the driver's seat when it comes to what happens with my life. And at the very least, I want to know what's going on. Which brings me to principle number 2, budgeting for awareness. Okay, everyone's financial situation is different, and not everyone is in a place financially where they have extra money to save. This might be you, and you might be thinking that the only thing that needs to change in your financial situation is to make more money. But there's people at every income level who struggle to save money. This is because how much money you get, or your income, is not a direct reflection of how much money you keep, or your profit. But awareness of these 2 things, your income and your profit, is crucial for accumulating any amount of wealth. And the way to see these 2 things clear as day is through budgeting. For me, budgeting for awareness just means keeping track of where every dollar comes from and where every dollar goes. Doing this has done a few things for me. Budgeting lets me clearly see what my current financial situation is. I can't have any assumptions or any misconceptions when all the numbers are right there in front of me. Budgeting lets me identify what's currently out of my control and what I do have the ability to change right now. For those things that I can't change right now, it shows me what would need to change in the future in order to achieve my financial goals. And lastly, it gives me the information I need to implement principle number 3, establish money systems. After my first few months of budgeting, I had tons of information that I could use to identify my financial habits and patterns. And once I was aware of those patterns, I was able to strategize systems that I could use to change them. For me, a money system is essentially just a way I control where my money goes. And with that, let's get into part 2 of the video, my payday routine. In this part of the video, I'll show you how I use data from my budget to figure out ways to save money by either eliminating expenses or removing the variability from expenses. Okay, it's time for a quick disclaimer. This part of the video is strictly based on my own personal financial situation. I realize not everyone is in the same situation, and I'm super blessed to be where I am, and everyone's financial situation is going to be different, and therefore the strategies and systems that will work for you won't be the same that work for me. So just take this part of the video as inspiration and always do more research. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're now looking at my 2022 annual budget template. This template is ugly. I did redo this template for 2023 to make it cuter like this, but this is what I had last year, so this is what I'm showing you. I don't want to get too caught up in the nitty-gritty of this. I basically have what my income sources were, what my bills or fixed expenses were, and what my variable expenses were. And the beauty of budgeting is I can see from month to month what my average spending was on certain categories and choose where I could not spend as much so that I could use that to save money. So a perfect example is car insurance. Last year I had a car, and in July it died. And I was debating if I should get a car or not this year. I knew if I got a new car, I would have to pay a car note and car insurance. Now, I work from home, and I don't need a car to go places every day. And I also can use my family's car when I do need to go places or take Ubers and things like that. And so I can look and see that if I didn't get car insurance next year, I could automatically save $1,487 and potentially save like over $2,000. This would probably come out to like $2,500 if I had car insurance for the whole year, just by not having car insurance. Okay, another area that I'll point your attention to is self-maintenance. Now, I know this isn't going to apply to everyone, but I know that in the demographic of women I'm in, we spend a lot of money on getting our nails done, our hair done, lashes, waxes. So I took a look at my self-maintenance category and I said, what if I could spend less money on this next year? Not cut it out completely, but what if I could just save $1,000? For me, from doing my monthly budgeting, I could see that the three main things that I spent money on in terms of self-maintenance were getting my nails done, getting pedicures, and getting waxes. My nails, I need them to stay done. It brings me a lot of happiness. I'm gonna keep getting them done as long as I can. But pedicures, I could maybe do that myself. I could buy an at-home pedicure kit, and instead of paying, I don't know, $40 every time I go, I could pay $100 for a really good kit and do it at home on my own. And the same thing for like waxing, I can wax on my own. Doing that automatically eliminates $1,300 from my self-maintenance category, which I can then use to save. So that brings our total to $2,000 plus $1,300, which is $33,000 so far. Okay, that's it for eliminating expenses. There's other expenses that I was able to eliminate or lessen, like canceling some subscriptions, getting a cheaper gym membership, or canceling a gym membership altogether and doing at-home workouts and things like that. Now I want to talk about how I manage variable expenses. So there's some things that just give you enjoyment in life. I like shopping, I like going out with my friends, I like traveling. Those things can get really expensive. I don't want to cut them out of my life completely, but I want to have control over how much money I spend in those areas so that I'm not overspending and hurting my savings goals. So this year, instead of just booking trips when I have the money to, I'm giving myself an allowance. And for that, I'll take you to my Notion template. Okay, now you're looking at my money piles. These are the money systems that I've set up for myself to support my long-term financial goals, including saving money this year. How I have this sheet set up is I have the different areas of spending that I want to account for. Then I have the purpose of each of the piles. I have what account each one will go to and my strategy for using each account. So my solution savings is like my emergency savings fund, but I can use it for any large expenses that pop up. So for me, this is for emergency. It's also for tuition and for taxes. And this goes into a savings account. And my strategy is to not touch it unless it's completely necessary, and to cap it at a certain amount and prioritize refilling when it gets low. Then I have my reoccurring expenses. My reoccurring expenses are like rent, my gym membership, car note if I have it, car insurance if I have it, subscriptions, and I put my nails here because I'm getting my nails done. And this goes into its own checking account, and what I do is I know how much my reoccurring expenses are for the entire month, and every paycheck I put half of that amount in the account so that I always have enough for my reoccurring expenses there, and it's not in my everyday checkings account, so that I'm not like, oh, I can spend this, but wait, I have this bill coming up, and I don't have to do that mental math every time I open my bank account. The next pile I have is my everyday spending. So that's like if I go to CVS, if I have to get gas or get an Uber to go somewhere, for takeout if I'm getting food, for groceries, for gifts for people, and miscellaneous things that just pop up in everyday life. So if I want a cup of coffee, it comes out of this spending account, even though I don't really drink coffee. If I need some new shampoo, it comes out of this spending account. And my strategy for this account is to put leftover money here, drain it, and repeat it every paycheck. So these are the 3 piles that account for my actual expenses that I need in order to maintain my quality of life. And what these 3 piles assure me that I can do is pay all of my bills that are reoccurring, that I can keep up with day-to-day expenses, and that I have money stored away in case there's an emergency and I need a lump sum of cash. Now these are my other savings accounts that are more tied to my financial goals. So I have my condo savings account. This savings account is meant to save for down payment, closing costs, and furniture. And I have a separate high interest savings account for this, so I know exactly how much I have saved towards this goal, and my strategy is to build it up and don't touch it at all. Next, I have my guilt-free spending account. So remember before we were looking at my budget and I said that I wanted to figure out ways to cut down on social outings and shopping. So what I decided to do was create a guilt-free spending account. This I can use to buy any new technology, to use for nights out, to use for going out to restaurants, for shopping, for beauty or makeup expenses, online shopping, social outings, and luxury services. And my strategy for this is to deposit a set amount into a separate checkings account every paycheck, use all that I want, and don't touch any money in any other account for these types of expenses. What this does is it allows me to control how much I spend on these categories. So if I say that I'm going to deposit $100 into this separate checkings account for these expenses each paycheck, then I have 24 paychecks in a year, so I know that I have $2,400 to spend on these types of expenses in this year, and I won't go over that amount. And that means any extra that I might have spent on those in previous years, I won't do this year, and it'll go to other financial goals like my condo savings or something else. And lastly, I have my travel fund, which is very similar. I have this set up in a savings account. This is just for travel expenses, and the same strategy. I'm going to deposit a specific amount into each account every month or every paycheck. Use it for travel, and don't use any money in any other account for travel. So that's it. That's my whole money strategy. It's how I saved $10,000 last year. It's how I saved $1,000 when I was in college. It's how I plan to save money well into the future. I hope you got something out of this video. And I'm interested if you have any other strategies or tips for how to save money or manage money. Please share them in the comments below. Like I said before, I love personal finance, so I would love to make more videos like this if you guys are interested. I also make videos about productivity, career, lifestyle, beauty sometimes. So if that's something you're interested in, you can go check out my other videos to see if there's anything else that you might like, and also subscribe so you see videos in the future. I hope to see you next time. Bye.